kilowatt 4 Hotel Echo Whiskey.
Roger, HEW. What's the name there?
Roger, HEW. What's the name there? The name here is Joe. It's Juliet Oscar Echo. And we live in the vicinity of Raleigh, North Carolina, in a motorhome, interestingly oriented exactly off the nose from you. From me to you is 296 degrees, and that's exactly the way the RV happens to be parked in the RV spot. It faces 29.
Roger. So you're in North Carolina, and I would think I would be 110 degrees to you. Would that be Roger?
102, let's see, that'd be right. 296, and the opposite of that would be add 180 to it, or take 180 away, and, yeah, that'd be about right. I know it's not exact, but I'm on a vertical, a quarter wave vertical, mounted on the roof, and at 100 watts, and bearing 296 off the nose, so I'm looking at you, straight at you. Not that the quarter wave antenna is directional in any way, except the antenna itself is mounted on the rear ladder, and that is on the back of the motorhome, so it has some mass in front of it there in your direction. Roger?
Roger. Well, I've got you on my loop there. You're probably looking to be about 12 over. Sounds really good. Your audio has a large amount of low-frequency content, so it sounds really good. I'm copying the mail on my local receiver, which is good down to 100 cycles. Roger?
Oh, Roger. Well, it's the ICOM 7300. You've helped me in the past get it dialed in, and I took a tube of super glue and put it on all the knobs, and it seems to be doing the job. All the settings I've maintained, transmitter settings, and they're still there. +3 on treble and +1 on bass, and all the bandwidths are 100 to 2900. Roger?
Yes, sir. Now, you might crank in a couple of more clicks top end. Now that I'm hearing you on my local receiver fairly well, that bottom end, what we need is a balance. So I'm hearing that bottom end now very well. So maybe a couple of more clicks on the top end treble EQ from where you are for a little bit better balance. Roger?
Okay, I just did that. It went from a +3 to a +5, and I left the bottom end where it's at. Everything else was the same. Any difference? Over?
Oh, yes, I can hear the crispness increase there. And which mic are you using, sir?
Well, actually, I'm on a wireless Bluetooth Plantronics 720 headset, and it is wireless to a bass unit, and the bass unit is plugged into the unit, the radio, at the microphone radio input. It would only take me a minute to put the stock mic back in if you wanted to try that for fun.
No, you're fine where you are. That's a really nice situation there. I've heard those before, and they are great. Once I heard this guy, we were talking, and he was in the back of his house there in an alleyway. It was really amazing, the range that he could get and the clarity, the tonality of the device is really nice.
Well, I've heard that from several people. That is adjustable. The range is adjustable in 3 units, either 50 feet, up to 150 feet, or up to 300 feet. I got mine set at 150. But I can actually go outside the motorhome here and walk around within a 100-yard radius and easily hear very clear the transmitted or the received audio. So it's a very useful device, Roger.
Yes, sir. Now, you might check your ALC. You might be just a little hot into your ALC. We're looking for mid-scale to 2/3, and you looked maybe just a little hotter than that. You might check that when you come back. Okay,
I'm looking at that right now. It looks to be right about in the middle. I would say 50 to 55%, just over halfway on the ALC. The 7300 does have a meter for that, and it's pretty steady right in the middle.
Yeah, Roger. It's probably device cum processing, shall we say. You're going through a transmit receive, an additional transmit receive operation for your wireless headset, Roger.
Oh, Roger that. The radio itself, I've got mic gain set at 25% and compression at 1. So they're both low. I think the microphone and the headset do a pretty good job with that, Roger.
Yes, sir. Normally we suggest a 3 on the compression, but you do have that extra transmit receive step there, so you're probably getting some little compression processing in that maneuver, if only in limiting of the transmitter in the wireless receive mode.
So are you saying leave compression at 1?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would do that. Your dynamic range looks to be right at 2.5 to 3 dB. So that 3 dB is what we're looking for. So I don't think we would want any more compression than what you have, Roger. What happens is if we reduce the dynamic range too much, if we get too fat, then the words become difficult to understand because they start to blur, I found, after a 3 dB dynamic range.
Oh, Roger that, yeah. I can see it on my scope. It actually is a little fat. Looking at my scope, 3.5 dB, Roger.
Yeah, actually it looks to me like about 2 dB, but I'm just gauging from a view meter and how it hangs, if you know what I mean.
Yep. That's a dead giveaway there. Well, I haven't had any complaints so far, and the audio on it on the other end, I've got a friend down in Florida, receives 40-meter transmissions in the morning on the RV service net, 7191, and he's commented that audio sounds as good as the stock mic, and that's kind of the gold standard here is a stock mic setup with a 7300.
Yes, sir. Yes, I don't know if they really realized what a beautiful combination that mic would make to their 7300, but it was the perfect mic for that 7300. Even if they had had to spend $100, $200 extra to demo that radio, that hand mic, when you work it properly to the corner of your mouth, is just absolutely perfect device, Roger.
Oh yeah, I totally agree, and they hit the nail on the head. Plus, I've got the the windbreak, the windsock over the microphone, as well as the headphone to microphone. I've got a little windsock over that, and I'm trying to share that with some of my ham friends to understand what's going on there, because you can hear pops and stops and everything else in their microphone until we put a windbreak on top, Roger.
Yes, sir. Foam windscreen is just a beautiful device. It's almost as good as the 7300 hand mic, or even better, because the foam windscreen just cuts out anything that is distracting from the word process, and only allows the words to go through. All mouth noises and other extraneous sounds are magically filtered out through the foam windscreen, Roger.
It works. It sure does. I'm attesting to that. We're actually getting ready to leave here in a week and a half on a trip up through the Northeast in the motorhome, and of course I'll have my rig with me. And when we get settled someplace on a Friday afternoon, I'll put the antenna up, little quarter wave Eagle 1 vertical. We'll put that up and maybe call in from wherever we happen to be. We're headed towards Maine, the state of Maine, and then up into New Hampshire and Vermont and upstate New York, and then head back down south. So just wanted to see some of the fall colors is all, but I'll see if we can have some fun on a Friday afternoon, Roger.
Oh, Roger, now you're just running barefoot in your mobile home?
Oh, yeah, that's all I've got. I'm a little afraid to put much of an RF amp here. A, I can't afford it, but B, there's a lot of electronic circuits in here that I might turn on the stove or the air conditioner, or the dishwasher might start winking at me, or something else might light off when I hit some RF around here. I haven't got everything protected the way I should.
Roger. I have a buddy over in Louisville that has got he's got a 500 watt amp in his mobile, but he can only run 3, because if he exceeds 300 watts, then the windows start rolling up by themselves, and all kinds of things start happening. Roger.
Roger that. Well, I have a friend that has the same RF output amplifier in his motorhome. Although he can't run it at 500 watts very often, he demonstrated to me. He transmitted on, I believe it was on 20 meters, and he put 500 watts out there, and his dishwasher turned on.
Oh, Roger. I have the same problem. I have a pretty extensive security system, a lot of infrared sensors and all kinds of stuff that, it doesn't just run at night. It runs 24 hours a day. And, gosh, a little RF floating around has, does a lot of things that one wouldn't expect they would do. So I usually have to shut all that stuff off when we do the Qso-Vlog net. Roger?
Oh, roger that, roger that. Well, Jim, I'll see if anybody else wants to jump in there. I sure appreciate your time, and I enjoy fiddling with these things, see if we can tweak it a little better. So I appreciate your help. It's been very helpful over the weeks and months. KC9VKV, this will be K4HEW clearing on your final jump.
Roger, Joe. 73, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. Thanks for dropping by, and I wish you all kinds of luck on your trip. I hope everything goes okay, and I hope your communications from the mobile home works well in remote locations. We shall see. Give us a call if you can. 73, Joe. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.